Okay, this conversation starts on Wednesday the 10th of March 2021. Here's my equipment. I was driving that all morning. It's a sifter. I've got the half inch grid on it, and that pile this morning was almost twice as big, maybe even a little bit bigger than twice as big, and I've taken it down, I've sifted it, and I'll show you what the progress has been so far on what we're doing. What you're looking at is landscape fabric that's covered with rock that just went through that sifter. I took the rock from that pile that we scraped off, the surface rock. We scraped that off. It's filled with sand and pebbles. We scraped that off, and as we're putting down new landscape fabric, we're putting down rock that's kosher, what I call kosher rock to me, because it's been through the half-inch sifter. It's got no sand, it's got no gravel in it. What you're looking at is like the racing hull of a sailboat. We just waxed it, okay? And we've got it so that the water is going to run. We have our decorative finish we have to put on it, that cosmetic rock, but that cosmetic rock has no sand or gravel in it. So we've got a high-speed raceway here. We did this. Now, if you've seen videos previously, I had a video where a contractor came in and he grooved out a good drain all to the street. So he's done. He left me an overlap that I can overlap my stuff. More or less I'm satisfied with the grading. It didn't drain before. All the excess gravel and dirt that's pea-sized I've been throwing up against my pad, and I'm not done yet. My helper will be along this afternoon, and hopefully him and I can get this covered up with landscape fabric and covered with rock by the time he leaves this evening. It's been over a month of work doing this. I've been out here almost every day doing a lot of work to get this done to where it's at. But that's why, and hopefully they say in a day or two or next week we may have a morning or an afternoon or an evening of rain, or all three. And if that happens, I'll be out here with a video camera taking a picture or a video of what we've done. Now I'm going to walk the line. He's left me. Now this landscape fabric, I don't know if anybody knows about it, but this out here in the desert, I'm a newbie here. I've only been here 16 years. I'm not even considered an adolescent out here yet, as far as being a townie, okay? But I do know one thing. I've done a lot of experiments with my property, and this landscape fabric, if you put it down on well sloped, and like you see, there's no big rocks, no big sharp rocks if somebody steps on it or walks on it, but we put it down on a good soft level surface, and you cover it with rock that's been sifted. Now what happened the other day is me and my friend, from the line here, we went back probably 5 feet from the line. 5 or 6 feet all the way back, and we covered it, and we put down the fabric. We covered it with sifted rock, what I said, my kosher rock, that goes through my sifter. And we had it all done. And then the guy ordered, he wanted more rock. Well, the rock that followed, isn't kosher rock. It's filled with sand and gravel. Sand and gravel. we had a slick racing sailboat hull here that me and my friend had built. We followed the contour and the slope of the work the guy did. And then the next day after, we had all this high-speed rock and high-speed landscape fabric in place to take water to the street really quick. This guy brought in about a ton or a ton and a half of rock that was mixed with sand and pebbles and gravel, and more or less turned that slope into a huge resistor. Resisting the water now going to the street. This landscape fabric will keep all weeds. What I was getting to, I've been here now 16 years and I've been using it for about 5 or 6 years. When you put it down with good, you won't get weeds. Now with all the sand, there, if I look right there, if you look right there, that's huge sand and gravel. That was all kosher rock. High speed to get the water out of here. Now it's got a place for weeds to grow in the sand and the gravel tend to slow the water getting to the street. So thank you very much but I've got this left. I'm waiting for a realtor. They said they were going to show up about 11. The market is really hot here. All houses are selling in about 1 day. But this house has so much wrong with it. I've had to tamper with it so much. The drainage, everything has been one big headache since I've been here. On the day I bought these houses, if a guy would have put a gun to my head and made me list them that day, all 3 of them, the day that I closed them in my name, if he would have put a gun to my head 16 years ago or 17 years ago and said, now sell them, now, for the best price you can do, just sell them for a comp price. If I would have had somebody do that to me, I'd be sending them Christmas cards and birthday presents every year. Thank you for the headache that you saved me. I've had nothing but trouble since I bought these 3 houses here. Okay? They sabotaged my lots for drainage. They sabotaged that house sewer pipe by lowering it 3 inches. They sabotaged the neighborhood by getting rid of the drain and access easement onto the golf course. This place has been brutalized. I've been brutalized. So I want the realtors to come by, and it's going to be hard to sell because it's a unique situation. This whole neighborhood is out of compliance. Not only is my house 3 inches low, but the neighborhood doesn't match the plat map. The plat map universally for the neighborhood is the document that's the invoice. If I show up with a plat map and it says there's a drain and walkway and access easement there, there should be one there. It shouldn't be up to a board of directors and some old goats who were here first 18, 17 years ago to decide what that access easement is to be used for. There's restrictions on it, okay? They put restrictions on my amenities by taking away that access easement as a golf cart easement. All right, plus it's an emergency. Every commonly owned easement in Sundance Active Adult should be as multi-purpose as possible. It should be a pedestrian. It should drain. It should be a golf cart. It should be an emergency in and out for emergency vehicles like EMT vehicles and fire vehicles and rescue vehicles. That's what it has to be. And to have a board of directors or a pyramid of authority in place that goes back nearly 20 years that decided maybe 18, 20 years ago that easement is never going to be an easement. It's a dead body. It's going away. Okay? And exactly what happened. If you look at Woody Scouten's letter, that's what they did. But I'm making this video just to let you know, and I'm waiting for the realtor. If she doesn't show up pretty soon, I'm just going to jump in the car and go to Lowe's. I don't like to wait, all right? But that's what's going on. Now, this lot I did it to last spring. We had that big storm March 13th, huge storm. I had lakes between those two houses, so I pulled everything up in April, May, June, tore it all up and put down landscape fabric and kosher rock. No sand, no gravel. Going back to this rock that happened the last couple of days. Alright, cosmetically, it's beautiful what the guy did. He brought in a lot more rock. I tried to talk him into letting me sift it first, and no, gotta get the job done. Time is money, gotta get the job done. Well, guess what? He worked really hard one day to get the slope and the gradient right to get all the water down here efficiently. And then he threw barnacles on it. It's like taking a race boat and letting it grow. You let it sit in the water for 6 months, growing seaweed and barnacles before the race. Okay, that's what just happened. We had this thing to where it was really efficient. He just took away about 30% of the efficiency, and he added a 30% to 50% more risk of weeds now, because he has sand and gravel in the mix. Sand and gravel damming up and slowing the water down to here. A real engineer.